Hey guys, it's Stephanie Keenan Ray, and I am here to talk to you about a brand new oil called guacwood. So this was just released during the 2022 doTERRA convention, and this oil is also known as Holywood or Palo Santo. And Palo Santo and Holywood are actually common names that are used for two different species of plants. Completely different species. So there is guacwood, and then there is Palo Santo. And basically they're cousins. They're from the same genus, but different species. And so it seems like the common name actually goes all the way back to the 15th century, when the Spanish explorers were in South America and they saw the natives using these trees in their religious ceremonies. And so they named them Palo Santo, meaning Holywood, because that's what it means in Spanish. So I think then they just kind of got used for both trees, and it can get a little confusing for us. But Palo Santo is actually a protected species. It's been harvested and not sustainably utilized and unethically sourced. So most of the Palo Santo on the marketplace is not ethically sourced, and although it's a sought out oil and highly popular, it is not something that doTERRA was going to bring to the table if they could not if they had to compromise their standards of quality and sustainability. So after 5 years of working with our growers and distillers here in Paraguay, they have finally brought us this guacwood. And so let's get into guacwood and let's talk about what it really is. So it is only found in the Chaco forests of Paraguay, which is an extremely harsh and dense forest. And due to our co-impact sourcing practices and principles, these trees will be sourced ethically and sustainably. And doTERRA has actually been changing the future of this forest that was actually at risk at one time, because they were deforesting the forest and selling the land and trying to make money that way. And then doTERRA came in and said, we want to help and we want to make this better and create this, sustainably sourced product for our customers. So now we have this beautiful, huge forest that we will be utilizing ethically and sustainably. So that is fantastic. Now, what is so exciting about this oil? So its chemical composition is primarily sesquiterpenes, which means that it is extremely calming and soothing, grounding, and balancing. So that's what you're gonna think about when you're using this oil. It has been used for centuries, going back for many centuries for meditation, in medicine, and in religious ceremonies. It's also been used in the perfume industry as well as skincare. So it's a very, very, very interesting oil. So how do we make it? We make it with steam distillation. We basically chop up the wood, and they chip up this wood that is a most unique wood. It is so interesting. This wood is extremely unique wood. It is extremely dense. It's so dense that if you cut a log, it would sink in water, so it doesn't float. One log would burn all night long if you were like camping and you made a campfire with it. So very unique, very different. This wood actually turns blue when you cut it. So when they cut down the tree, it turns this beautiful pale blue. And the blue color is actually the essential oils coming out of that hard wood. And then when they chop it up, they chip it up and then they steam distill it. And the final product is actually a semi-solid product. So it's this golden gel-like gelatinous substance. It's so bizarre and really cool. It's not a resin from sap. It is actually a essential oil. And so then our scientists at doTERRA looked at it and they tried to figure out like what's the best way to thin this this essential oil out so that it can easily come out of the bottle for all of us. So they looked at the chemical composition and ultimately figured out that blending it with fractionated coconut oil was actually the best way because it has short chain fatty acids, and that allowed it to bind better than if it was a long chain. So that's a whole bunch of science you don't really need to know about, but it was really cool to hear about from our scientists at doTERRA. And so let's get into what does it smell like. It is probably one of the most unique oils I have ever smelled. It is very earthy and woodsy with this subtle sweetness, almost like hints of rose in the way back. But in all honesty, the first thing I thought of when I smelt this was barbecue. It reminds me of the wood that you would smoke your barbecue in. So that was the first thing I thought of. And even there's like little notes of like that like sweet tobacco aroma. So that may not sound appealing, but it actually is a very lovely oil. And so let's get into how we're going to use it. So one of the best ways to use it is to diffuse. You could diffuse it for just the calming and grounding elements. So it's going to be excellent for using during yoga or meditation or even prayer. Traditionally, it was used spiritually for cleansing and purifying a space and getting rid of negative energy. So this is something that you could do. They would use the wood much the way our Native Americans use sage, white sage, to cleanse an area. That's what they did with the wood down in South America. So this can be used to cleanse your space spiritually, get rid of negative energy. It also just creates a very calm and tranquil environment. So that is lovely. And then it's also been known to banish negative thinking. So this could be a fabulous oil to diffuse when you're feeling low and untethered and just need to be grounded and centered and just more tranquil, right? And gentle with ourselves. Topically, you could use it in many ways. It traditionally was used in medicine to cleanse the body of illness. So I would take this and apply it to the spine and the bottoms of the feet when you're not feeling well. And then topically, it can also be used to soothe skin irritations, and it also helps with supporting the skin's natural hydration. So this would be a great oil to just add a couple drops into your moisturizer and then use that regularly. And I love the idea of blending this oil. I think that's where we're gonna really learn to love it. So it's gonna blend really well with florals such as ylang ylang, neroli, rose, or chamomile. Citruses are gonna help brighten it up. And so bergamot, tangerine, clementine, these are going to be just lovely oils to use with it. I love the idea of the holy oils mixed with the guacwood. So frankincense, myrrh, sandalwood, those are really going to bring that nice grounded meditative state. It's going to be just beautiful. And all of those are excellent skin oils as well, just saying. And then warming oils like clove and cinnamon are going to mix really well with this. That'll make a nice diffused blend to just have a woodsy and spicy aroma in your house, or even blend a couple of these together. And I also think that the grounding tree oils are gonna blend really well with this. So firs like Siberian fir or black spruce, I think would be amazing. Today I made a great blend that I used 3 drops of guacwood, 2 drops ylang ylang, 2 drops clementine, and 2 drops Siberian fir. And I have to say, it was phenomenal. It created this warm, just welcoming aroma in my spa room. So I highly recommend playing with this oil, having some fun, and getting to know it. It will be coming out October 1st. For those of you who did not attend doTERRA's convention or get the virtual ticket. And this is going to be a fantastic oil for when we need that calming, grounding, centering. It's going to be just a lovely oil to play with, and I hope you all enjoy it and have some fun.